Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is A. Welcome to Witty Reads, and today I'm going to be giving you guys some of my favorite holiday romance recommendations. This is next week, and for all that celebrate, but even though it is next week, I still wanted to give some of my favorite holiday romance recommendations to you all. These are my top tier favorites. I am just obsessed, love them so. And I just had to give some of you guys some recommendations just in case if you all are still looking for some holiday romances. Let's get straight into these recommendations. My December Darling by Lauren Asher. So I really enjoyed this book. This is such a cute holiday novella, just a short and sweet book. But honestly, it was very satisfying. It was sweet. It was a little spicy, but I really enjoyed this story. This takes place in the Lakefront Billionaire series. If you're reading that series, this one kind of connects to that series. They do live in this small town. So this book is about our heroine, Catalina. Catalina's sister is getting married. She's actually getting married to Catalina's ex-boyfriend. But things are not as they seem because Catalina and her ex, they weren't very serious. Nothing really happened between them. It wasn't the right match. Catalina's sister and her ex have actually been friends for a really long time, and so they are actually just a much better fit. And things have been a little bit awkward between Catalina and her sister because of this. She feels really, she feels bad because she didn't know that her sister had feelings for this guy, and she is just trying to make sure her and her sister keep this good relationship because they kind of feel like they're back on track, they're connected, things are great. Now our hero Luke, he is best friends with the groom. He has a little bit of a crush on Catalina, but he's tried to stay away from her because this is his best friend's ex. But things are just very hard. There's definitely a lot of chemistry brewing between them, and things take off in this book. I really enjoyed this. It was so cute, so cozy. It was just really sweet, and I definitely enjoyed it. So if you haven't met Luke Darling, then you should. He's great, and I also really enjoyed Catalina. I'm just really enjoying this series as a whole. I think it's a great one, and also this is on audio. It's really great on audio. I think it's like duet narration. So check it out if you're interested, but definitely highly recommend picking this one up. This is definitely one of my new favorite holiday romances that I've read. The book is Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. Let me tell you guys something. Catherine Walsh is the queen of holiday romances. Her holiday romances, which this was so funny that it's called holiday romance, are the best, and I am so obsessed with them. This is actually the first year when she doesn't have a book coming out, and I'm so sad about it because I just really enjoy her holiday romances. They're honestly the best. If you enjoy Abby Jimenez or Emily Henry, I think that Catherine Walsh would be a really great fit for you, and I highly recommend checking out her holiday romances. They're very sweet, but they also have a lot of heart to them, and the romances are pretty low steam, and it's just great, filled with lots of like holiday shenanigans and fun, and just a really fun time, and the audiobooks are absolutely fantastic. So in this book, we're following Molly and Andrew. They have been friends for quite a while. They're actually travel companions whenever it's time to go back home. Chicago, they travel together, and this year in particular, things don't go as planned due to a winter storm. And Andrew is very close with his family, and Molly has made it her mission to make sure that he gets to town so he could spend the holidays with his family. And so this is a friends to lovers romance, and let me tell you, Molly and Andrew have so much chemistry. I love their banter, and we get some like past chapters of kind of like their friendship over the years, and honestly like how this has led to this moment of Molly and Andrew realizing that they have feelings for one another. It's very organic and sweet, and I just loved it, and also very, very cozy. Highly recommend this one. This one is one of my all-time favorites. We have Snowden by Catherine Walsh. This book came out last year, and this was my favorite holiday book that I read last year. I loved it so much. So in this book, we're following our hero, Megan. So Megan has not been back home since she essentially was a runaway bride. Left her ex at the altar. She feels a lot of embarrassment, and there's just a lot of still lingering feelings about what she did. It's very awkward, very uncomfortable for her to go home. She's not looking forward to the holidays. She actually runs into an old friend named Christian and in a pub. He also is hesitant about coming back home, And these two decided they're going to fake date. So they both have each other, you know, to get through the holidays, and then they'll get through this shenanigans with their family. They'll go back and everything will go back to normal. And of course, things don't go as planned because these two fall for each other. Again, this one was very sweet, very cozy. I loved this romance so much. It was just honestly so good. So I recommend both of these. These are honestly just two of my favorite books. I love them and cannot recommend Catherine Walsh. These two specifically, I haven't read any more by her, but she's my holiday romance queen. And next we have The Holidates by Brittany Cherry. So this is also one of my favorites. I read this when it first came out in 2022. This almost made it on my favorite books of the year list. I just fell in love with this book, and I think that it is oh so cute. So this book starts off with our heroine, I'm just blanking on her name, Holly, and she's actually engaged, about to get married to her fiance, and unfortunately she finds out that her fiance and her best friend are in love, and they actually get married, and it's absolutely devastating. She hasn't really been back home since then and has just tried to avoid it at all costs. But now it's the holidays, she's back. She feels a lot. She's very uncomfortable. She doesn't want to run into them. And this book honestly started off so heartbreaking. I was absolutely heartbroken for Holly. Our hero, Kai, he actually has a new restaurant, and Holly is trying to date. You know, she really doesn't want to be alone for the holidays, and she wants to like pretend that she's dating somebody. And so she's going all these dates in our hero's restaurant, and he's so annoyed by just seeing all these guys coming back and forth. So he actually ends up helping her, trying to find her the perfect date. Basically, Kai starts to get a little jealous because she's starting to connect with someone, and then this really starts off the book with so much holiday fun and cuteness and fake dating, and I just absolutely loved this. This was all the feels, but also this one has a lot of heart because it is Brittany Cherry. She writes pretty emotional books, and this one definitely hit those emotional beats that I'm always looking for in a contemporary romance, and definitely you get that in this holiday romance. I loved it. So really, I love holiday romances that honestly feel like fulfilling story or satisfying stories and also have a little bit of heart to them, and this one definitely fit the bill for me. So I highly recommend this one. This is one of my favorites, and I think this one is getting a new cover, but definitely check out The Holidates if you haven't yet. Okay, so next we have Emergency Contact by Lauren Lane. So this one I read last year and I loved it. This ended up being, I don't know, it was between Snowden and this one as my favorite holiday romances, and another book on this list. Actually, honestly, I loved all three of them that I'm about to talk about in a minute here. But this book was so much fun. So this one is about our heroine, Catherine. Catherine is an attorney. She's actually looking to become a partner at her law firm, and she's just not a holiday person. She's definitely a bit of a Grinch. This is a concussion, and her emergency contact, the person that is contacted, is her ex-husband. Okay. Now our hero Tom, he's preparing to head home for the holidays. He's actually bringing his girlfriend, and he plans on proposing to his girlfriend. It's just a lot, right? It's a big important time for him, but Catherine really can't be left alone due to her concussion, so he actually brings her home, and like I said, he's trying to propose to his girlfriend, and these two might get a second chance at love. So this is definitely, you know, second chance goodness, and this is so fun. Honestly, I love this book. I loved Tom's family, and it was just hilarious. Him and Catherine are so funny, and I just loved reading about them two falling in love, falling back in love, reconnecting, and, you know, trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong with them, and why all of a sudden this is happening again when they get this second chance at love. Love this one, and I really can't recommend it enough. I have A Little Magic by Lindsay Lanza. So this book, again, I read this one last year. This one is so angsty. This definitely takes the cake for probably being the angstiest, the angstiest holiday romance that I've ever read. So this is a brother's best friend, second chance romance. We've got some forced proximity. We also have some chronic illness rep because our heroine has lupus. So this book is told in dual timeline between Ellie and Theo. So we get like this full romance between Ellie and Theo. They meet when they're young. Theo becomes Ellie's brother's best friend. And in the past chapters, we get to see how Ellie and Theo meet, and they actually fall in love when they're younger, and they actually have a secret romance. Nobody knows about it. And then we go back into the present day, and Ellie is coming back to her town, and these two actually get snowed in together, and they haven't seen each other for a long time, since they broken up, and they have to face what happened between them and face their feelings for each other. And you know, they are each other's first loves, so I love reading about two people who were each other's first loves reconnecting. And this was so angsty. I must say, I was so invested in the past chapters. I was just, Ellie and Theo when they were younger were so cute. And honestly, from the very beginning, because Ellie was a sick kid and her mom was very, very protective of Ellie, she really couldn't do much. And I believe this one also, I think they're Jewish in this one, and I believe it's Ellie's family. So I loved reading that too. Usually, you know, people celebrate Christmas and the holiday romances, so I really enjoyed that representation as well. But this was really great, and be prepared to be a little frustrated. If you are an angsty reader or angsty romance reader, then you will really enjoy this one. Okay, so I just have two other novellas to get through really quickly. So the first one is Set the Record Straight by Hannah Bonham Young. I love this one. This is a sapphic romance. This one's kind of like a bi-awakening romance. Basically, we're following two best friends who've been best friends forever, for a really long time. And our heroine, Evan, has been out since she was 18 years old. And she has been disowned by her family, so she doesn't celebrate any holidays or anything for her family, which is, of course, very, very difficult time. You know, the holidays can be for some people. And Clara's family is very inviting. They love Evan, and she celebrates holidays with Clara's family. We have some fake dating in this book, and they both definitely start falling for each other. And Clara realizes that she has feelings for Evan, and realizes that she also might be bi, or you know, and realizes come to the realization that she might not be straight. I really love this book. It was just so sweet and swoony, steamy, but also emotional, and I really enjoyed all those beats. That's kind of like what I really enjoy in my holiday romances. I definitely like it to have some heart and hit an emotional punch. So I love those holiday romances, and this is definitely one of those. And lastly, I have Spiked Hot Chocolate by Risley Adams. Listen, this book is so good. It's essentially about these two people who meet at like a restaurant or something. They both kind of have like different circumstances as to kind of what led them to being alone and eating at this restaurant together. And then I think they get like snowed in together. And anyway, this one is cozy, sweet, hot, sexy. Risley writes the best novella. She's like one of my novella queens. She writes the best, and this is definitely one that is so good, top tier, and just a lot of fun. And so those are my recommendations. If you made it this far, leave me the Christmas tree emoji. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.